Hey, what's up? Here we are. Pleasure. Welcome back. Let me turn off this music here. Caught me off guard. I didn't expect to have the camera on. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today is Wednesday, and tomorrow we have a half day. And we have a half day on Friday as well. So this is basically the end of trading as we know it for the week. It's going to be super slow tomorrow. And so if you're trading tomorrow, you might have a problem. I don't even think the stock market's open. So before we get into that, however, please make sure you follow me on all the socials, YouTube, Twitter, Substack, Ryan Bailey Edge. That's the handle. And also, I just fired up a TradingView account, also called Ryan Bailey Edge. Make sure you follow me here. I've got 2 scripts that I'm giving away for free. You'll see a post today about those, but if you come here, you can get them early. And actually, I'm going to be making some more scripts over the weekend, so you might want to follow just because I'm just going to let everybody have them. I think it's important to give people tools that actually work. And so check me out, Ryan Bailey Edge. That's what's up. They're on there. Download them for yourself. So today was quite a day. Without a doubt. I mean, it was just more up again. We've had pretty much all week, starting from the 21st, which was Friday, and then all this week so far, we've had, let's call it 4 trending days. Really, it's 3.5, which was pretty intense. I mean, we're talking about over 300 points in an up move over the past 4 days, excuse me, which has been awesome if you're on the right side of the trade. It does seem a little overdone, however, but right now everything is pointing to the upside. So, we talked about it yesterday when we were in the stream. We made it very clear that, the bulls were back. We gained on the daily, we gained on the 4-hour. Let's move up. That's exactly what they did. They moved up last night over 20 points, and we had a small 30-point range, which is pretty much all upside in the overnight session. And then they broke out and continued to push higher once again. So, it's the same old motto. We talked about VIX. We talked about all kinds of jazz yesterday. So hopefully everybody was positioned for this move. If you were tuned in or you got the trade plans, there should be no excuse. So anyways, a lot of people in the room made killer money today. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, everybody did shortly. And really, we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff today because, there wasn't a lot going on today. We just went straight up and then we kind of based out sideways. So let's talk about the plan real quick and then we'll get on to it. First thing though, I want to show you is this. We talked about this briefly yesterday. So this is the holiday schedule, guys. Okay. So this was today, tomorrow's early close at noon. We open for Globex, and then Friday's early close at noon again. I will not be here. I will not be streaming. There will be no trade plans. I'll make sure everybody knows this evening. I'll send a little newsletter out, but there's no reason for us to even get involved over the next 2 days. It's just not going to be worth it. So know your opportunities. Go out and touch some grass, spend time with your family, do what you're supposed to do. The markets will be here to take our money when we get back. And so no problem there. All right. So let's just start the day out. Let's see. First, let's start with this. Let's come over here. Actually, let's start with VIX. So I'm a huge proponent of this. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm always pushing this on you guys. I feel like this is the yin to our yang. It's one thing to be able to look at the ES or the S&P, SPX, whatever, and have a good feel for which direction it's going to go or what the chart tells you it's going to go. It's nice to have another resource essentially to confirm your directions. So with VIX, that is basically how we started out. This is came out at 8:30 this morning on the button. VIX is extremely weak as it's still below the 1860 daily. We talked about this yesterday too. Okay, below this 1860 daily. Even says watch right there. Okay, this means that we could have significant more down in VIX, which would be a tailwind for the indices, right? We knew this pivot, it was at 1913. As long as we stay below this, we have little to no pressure. So above this can give us a little headwind, but it never happened. So we just continue to move down all day, which I will show you right now. And I think everybody who is trading has a pretty good idea what this looks like. We're kind of joking about it in the room because this thing was just absolutely getting annihilated. Let's see here. Hang on, give me 1 second. There you go. Just a massive down move. So we were right here this morning, essentially, and we just had all these, 4 basically down candles in a row, almost 5 down, 1 hour down candles in a row. Oh, these are 4 hour candles. Geez, there you go. There's the 1 hour. So look at that. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles until we swept the low, essentially. So pretty amazing analysis there on VIX, which should have given everybody the liberty to just get long and relax, which is exactly what I did this morning, which we'll soon talk about. Okay. So this was a big deal. I mean, it was a huge deal. I was all over this when I saw that VIX was still under our weekly this morning and we were just basing at the highs. We had a feel good moment there. So let me go ahead and pull this over now for you guys. So this was the AM context. This was right at the opening statement this morning. Relative volume is down 29%. Do not assume a tight overnight range means a slow day, even though it was. But we had low R vol, which means we could have a slow, grindy day, all in the direction of trend. It is advisable not to fade trend. I'd say this is pretty good advice, don't you? All right. So I even put in here, we only had a 32-point range. We were expected to do 128 today. Now, granted, we did that for the past 3 days. We met these expectations, but today was a different story. And so we didn't quite get there. I think we only did about 60 points today. But we also had in down here that, they accomplished a major feat yesterday, which we talked about. They gained on the daily and the 4 hour time frame. So cementing their bullish reclaim of support. This gives us more reason to believe we could push higher. And then once again, we talk about how that right now we were sitting on the significant weekly at 88.50. That was this red right here when I was putting this trade plan out. Because I start the trade plan, just so you guys know, the trade plan takes me about an hour to do in the morning, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes. I generally start around 7 o'clock, 7:15, about 7:15, and I start the trade plan, and it usually gets out to you guys by about 8:30. So it takes me a solid hour and 15 minutes to do this analysis every morning, draw the pictures, get everything, and really come to a good analysis of what the day is going to bring. So we had just touched this weekly here at 88.50. Right now, all signs pointing up. VIX is down, bias is long, looking for pullbacks in the structure. Well, we didn't have too many pullbacks today, that's for damn sure. So, but I think we all know that traded this. So I will show you essentially how it worked out for me. And let's see what we got here. I'm going to pull this over when we're done. I like that one. So here was my AM long. And this is, we were all pretty much in the room. We were all over this if you were in there, which was awesome. So we had the immediate resistance at 0509. This is the area that needed to be broke above, I guess you could say, to continue that push higher, right? Because as you can see right here, here's the 09, right? When I wrote this, we were right here, okay? Essentially 8 o'clock in the morning, we were still underneath it, right? So the way for me right now is resistance at the time of writing. We break above this, we move higher to clean up the singles to 16, okay? We had also a TPO edge and a 4 hour level at 32, right? And so we had in an options deviations vol at 28, okay? So look for a reaction here, look to take some profits, and a push above takes us to 51. Okay, we have that significant 4 hour up there. So this was my thread this morning, right at 9:27, telling the guys in the room and girls, let me rephrase that. VIX is pushing lower, long, long, long. They're wasting no time. I'm already long 5 cars here. And then this, as you can see, as soon as I saw them push above this 09, I was already preparing for this thing to move higher. I was really just hoping we'd get a more decent pullback, but we didn't. So, but it's fine. We just have to deal with what we have. And I took some off in the singles and we kind of rode this higher, as you can see. I had a call wall up here at 19. I think I actually took it a little bit higher. And these were the singles that were getting filled at 16 that we talked about right here. Clean the singles to 16. Listen, guys, I trade the plan. If it's in the plan and I'm like, hey, this is what's up, I'm doing it. Believe that. If you read this, just know that I'm in the Discord and I'm posting pictures of the singles getting cleaned up and me long into these singles. That's just my plan. Okay, so this thing's money shot. And so here you go. So here's my 1 hour time frame. This is perfect. So this is the 09 right here, this green line. You can see as soon as they started pushing above it, I bought, right? At this point, I got 7 on, okay? Trying to get above here, right? And they're going. So that was the thing, taking money at the 16.75, front running those singles, getting cleaned up. Then we had the options wall at 19. So I'm at the big call wall. I'm at 18.50. As you can see, I had targets all the way up here in here to 31, which we ended up getting, right? This was like awesome. And so this was a great day. So this was interesting too. So they actually pulled back in the beginning, came back, pulled into the daily, obviously added in there, had a little bit more ammo because the first picture I had 5, then I have 7, right? Cleaned up the singles to 16, telling people I'm front running the call wall because I walk everybody through this, right? So I know there's people following me in the room, right? They're looking at the trade plan. They've paid for the trade plan. They want to understand how to trade this. So I walk through every step of the way when I'm in a trade so that they can feel comfortable in knowing that I'm also in this, and simply just to show that the trade plans are legit. Here I am. I'm trading this thing exactly like I told you to. So exactly like I say we're supposed to. So anyways, for me, my whole theory, and the same theory that I gave you yesterday is there was not a lot of resistance over 09. And so as we know, just by looking at this picture right here, here's an 09, there wasn't much resistance over 09. Now we came up and we smacked our head on 22. And we ended up coming back and checking this support down here. But once they launched back above, they actually came and did a very nice retest here at 09.25. And the move back above the overnight high was your trigger if you were looking to get in there. It looked a lot cleaner on like a 5-minute time frame. For me, I'm looking at the larger time frame. So I don't, I have a 5-minute way in the corner for entries and stuff, but I look at the 1 hour. I execute off the 1 hour and a 30-minute RTH chart. That's what I look at right here. It's my 1 hour, my 30-minute RTH, my 4 hour, and my daily. That's what I got. And then over to the side over here, I've got my TPO and my footprint and my little small stuff that I barely look at. Of course, I stare at my footprint. My footprint's or not my footprint, but my TPO. That's my baby. So anyways, regardless of that, just letting you know, this was the back test. So, the higher time frame still dictated that we go up. But here was the 32. We ended up taking targets in the 32, and I was able to bring this all the way up to 46. So I took a runner. I wanted to get up to 51. We couldn't get there. Ended up taking 46 on this retest. Now, we had one more trade there. It was the end of the day long that I was able to get on, and I called it for the guys in the room. I think a lot of people took this trade too, which is one of the benefits of being in here. Okay. So, initially I wanted to play this 22.25 daily. I was really wanting to pull back into this daily, and they never got it. Actually, what they did was they played VWAP, which was really frustrating to me because, I hate it when they front run a level, but here was the more frustrating part. And I didn't show you the whole SPX chart. I just pulled over the 5-minute picture. Look at this. They played the 68.10 4 hour perfectly. So they actually did play a very nice level. They played it on SPX, which thank God I watched it. Oh, by the way, here's one of the indicators that I made that you can go to TradingView and download for free. Just put on your chart. It's pretty badass. It's ATR, multi-time frame ATR support. Anyways, long story short, this ended up playing. And so when I saw VWAP was holding, and then, we essentially started, I bought immediately. Once I saw it started to go, I think my first entry was probably around 28 or 29. And then once we started to get above this 4 hour, I started adding into it. And so, at this point I had a pretty good size on because, I like 4 hour levels. When I saw SPX play so perfectly that I just assumed we were going to ride, and it was a good assumption. So no qualms about that whatsoever. And that was this trade right here. And so this is actually the same trade that I pointed out to you guys yesterday when I had a picture of 05, then I had a picture of 61, and I basically told you, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch yesterday's review, post-market breakdown. I talk about this strategy, and I said, hey, listen, I've been watching this for a while. I am all over this trade. If they do it again today, I'm going to take it. And I did. It paid up nice. Well, this one paid up about 20 points, which was sweet. Down for 20 points. You kidding me? So anyways, that was my end of the day trade. And I will show you here how that panned out right now. So we had a killer day in the room. And it wasn't just me. I mean, I had some real monsters in this room, guys. I don't think you realize we are actually in here doing the damn thing. A lot of people talk smack. Our guys are actually doing it, which is great. So here's the past couple days. Look at this guy with the 22,000. This guy with 600. And then where we at? That was yesterday, Mr. Shees. Mr. Shees is back. So this is an OG that was been around for a long time. This is my man. He's back. So my man Paulie, this is today. He did about $6,000. I think he did more than that. This was me. I banged out 100 points today, 107 points. So all good about that. That's what's up. Made that happen. Look at this, Mr. Shees again with 3 Gs, and then he decides that boom, I think I'm going to pull out $5,000. The guy's only been in here 2 freaking days, slaying it on the NQ status. So congrats, Mr. Shees. Oh, here we go. Here's my man, Paulie. He took some more. What was that? $7,000. What a big day, man. Fucking awesome. So the room is clicking. We're all trading these plans. We're all trading together. We have a phenomenal little group in here. If you guys are interested in checking this out and you're a Substack subscriber, hit me up. I'll get you in here. We have a lot of fun. We were joking around about today that, essentially that it's a good thing we have a lot of fun in here because it is a blast while you're sitting around waiting for a trade. So just wanted to show you that was what's up. So that's basically it for the trade plan today. In my opinion, we're still going up very much. And so, if you guys want to talk about kind of the areas I'm looking at for Monday, we could, but, a lot can change between here and there. So I'm not sure we want to get into that. But what I will look at with you guys is some stuff that I'm buying. So I bought, I don't know, $5,000 or $7,000 worth of stock today. And I kind of wanted to show you some of the stuff that I'm looking at. So I've been wanting to buy some Oracle anyway. So I bought some Oracle today. See, they're coming down the post market. Interesting. But I absolutely love this level. So this is a monster monthly here. And what I liked even more about it is that it has this beautiful weekly that's right. It's just this. Oh, my bad. I wasn't showing this. Excuse me. Here we go. So we had this beautiful monthly here at 184.84 that played perfect. Okay. And then, that was in combination with a weekly level that this trade is literally right out of my course. Okay. Like, this is something that I teach everybody. This is one of my signature setups, and it played great. Now, mind you, this thing already popped pretty good over the past week. It's up 13%, which is a nice pop, but I think this can really take us up. They had a really nice gap up here, but they might come down here and play this 193. We'll see. I would want to see this area play right here. Hang on. Let me go ahead and just put this on extended hours. So here's what we got. We're coming off of this spot. I like to see this hold and then really come up to at least 222 or 224 at a minimum. I've been wanting to buy some of this stock anyway. They actually have a pretty decent little, I'll show you. They're making money, right? And they do have a little bit of debt, but the analysts say this thing's worth about 350, which is a 69% upside from here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the financials. I didn't actually look at it too hard. I just like the chart. Actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you guys can do your own homework. But, I bought it. I like this spot. I bought enough where I, save some money and I can buy some more if we pull back into this 194 and hold. But I really don't want to see it to go much lower than this. I would probably stop out somewhere down around here, 167, and see what happens. But this looks pretty good to me so far. So I'm happy about this. All right. So that was one. The other one, of course, and I won't spend too much time on this because we've talked about this for some time now. This is Chipotle. Chipotle then made another big move up today at 2%. Yesterday was 6%. This thing is walking up. We are now over these weekly supports. So there's a lot of opportunity to go. This isn't one that I bought, and here's one that I did buy. And I've talked about this so many times. I'm still buying this weed ETF, you guys. I just keep buying down here. Like every day, every other day, I buy 100 shares. And I'm pretty loaded down right now, just to be honest. But I might have to stop buying. But this thing looks pretty awesome here, and I like it. So bought some more here of this, which I think has some promise. At $3.40, I'm willing to die with this thing. So the upside on this thing is potentially pretty ridiculous. So we'll see. Here was a gamble that I took today, and I call it a gamble, but I mean, it's not really a gamble. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So this right here, we have a weekly that's coming from over here. We basically played it once, we popped up, and we came down. And they actually missed it by just a little bit. So I got to looking into this thing, and I drew this wick here from this pivot point, and they actually did miss that weekly. And we came down and we basically swept this low and got into this weekly, and we popped. So I didn't buy any shares here, but this is Marathon Holdings. They're a Bitcoin mining company. And, if Bitcoin goes up here, that's the next thing we're going to talk about. If Bitcoin goes up, this should follow, right? So I bought some, I don't even know where they're at. I think I bought them for March of next year. I bought some $13 and $14 calls. I believe is what it was, $13, $14 calls. Yeah. And they were cheap. They were super, super duper cheap. Like one of them was, I don't know, they're like $1. One of them was $1.17, whatever. They were not expensive. So I don't know. I put about $400 in, and I figure if this will go, this might be a nice little YOLO here. I got till next year to kind of see if it's going to work out, but just give me up here. I'll make some money. Down with that. So I just like the chart. I like the sweep. I thought this might be a good little play, at least to take us back up to the $14 range. And if we can do that fairly soon, make some good money. So the other thing that I bought today was iBit. So we've talked about Bitcoin before, as usual, many times. I bought heavy down here in the spot. As you guys know, we've been talking about it in the room. We've talked about it on the stream. Our weekly played perfect. We're in this. We got the monthly. I'm expecting at least 100 grand. Okay. So today I wish I would have done it yesterday, but whatever, I've been busy. Actually bought some more iBit here today, looking to take this up. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, I actually bought some ETH, and I bought more ETH than I did. I bought more ETH than I did iBit because I'm pretty heavy Bitcoin on the spot side. But this was an amazing weekly here at 26.27. We played perfectly. I mean, this could not have been any better, honestly. And so I bought some ETH here, and then I just bought another ETH here, basically, but I bought it in iBit's version. And I'll show you right now what that looks like. So again, it's the same exact thing. Like, let me go here. We come down and we played this monthly. I mean, oh, wait a minute. This is, as I said, I knew that didn't look right. Hang on. Let's see. ETH. Give me 1 second here. Oh. All right. Well, here. There's one way to fix that. There you go. So there it is. I mean, it was the same beautiful touch, right? $20, 1965, whatever it is. So I actually bought another ETH today here, and I sold some $20 calls, or no, $21. Sorry, I sold some $21 puts for the end of the year because I figure, I mean, I'm willing to buy it down here anyway. So if it comes back down and if I buy $2,500 ETH, then so be it. But I think they'll probably end up expiring worthless. They both paid $1.20. So, between buying the 100 shares or 150 shares here, and then, on our way up, maybe I'll make some money. So we'll see what happens. So that was my day. So we've talked about, the trade plan and everything that worked out just like we said it would. Walked you guys through my trades so you can see how to effectively execute the trade plan. We've now talked about, 5 stocks here that I'm basically rolling the dice on that I think all look pretty decent, and stuff that looks high probability, because that's really what I like. I sit back and I wait and I stalk my prey, and these look pretty good. I think Bitcoin and ETH have a lot of promise. I think ETH especially does at this level. This is a killer spot, and I really feel like it's got a lot of upside potential from here. So that's what I got for you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure that you like and follow, obviously retweet and all this stuff. If you are not a subscriber, check the link below. I've got 30 days free to the trade plans in there. Also, don't forget to check me out on TradingView, Ryan Bailey Edge. I will go ahead and throw my link in there. I have those 2 indicators on there that you're more than welcome to grab. There will probably be 4 on there that you can grab by over the weekend, by Sunday-ish. I'm going to do some coding work over the holiday and make it happen. So, yesterday we ran way over. Yesterday's stream was 45 minutes. This stream is going to be 27 minutes. So we're going to wrap it up. I hope everybody has a fantastic holiday. I hope you guys had a great week. I know we did. And I look forward to working with you guys again next week. And there will be no trade plans for the rest of the week, guys. And there will be no streams until Monday. Okay, so I will see you guys for the weekend review on Sunday. Enjoy your holiday. Get your turkey on. We'll talk soon. Cheers.